It's Thursday, the 16th of January. Welcome everyone to the show. Just a quick run through Wednesday's trading day. The Nigerian market, as you can see, dived very sharply lower, 1.5% on the back of declines in the shares of heavy names, big names of bellwethers such as Dangote Cement, Nigeria's largest company in the industrial goods sector, below the 400 naira per share, as well as Transcorp Power. Both companies in the industrial and the energy sector dragged the Nigerian market lower to 102,095 on Wednesday. It's been a bit of a precipitous start to the new week on the Nigerian stock market. The banking sector finished flat. Insurance was down yesterday. Oil and gas moved up 0.2%. Insurance 3.5%. Consumer goods eked out 1.0% as we saw some gains in NASCON and Dangote Sugar, two of the other companies within the Dangote Industries group. Year to date, we're now looking at 0.8% decline on the Nigerian market. Move to the rest of Africa. The Nairobi stock market was 0.2%, sell down yesterday. The shares of Cooperative Bank and ABSA were in the negative territory. The Egyptian stock market returned to positive reading, 1.46%. The BRVM in Cote d'Ivoire was down by 0.25%. In South Africa, the GSE went up 1.69%, even as the South African rand recovered on the US dollar, 0.75%, 1877, pushing the 19 rand to the dollar back up away from the band. The Nigerian currency was down 0.1% on the US dollar. However, the CFA franc in West Africa finished 640 on the dollar, 0.07% in the red. Let's just take those numbers out and move on to some of the biggest stories on the continent. The World Economic Forum, Davos 2025, is happening in the next few days. January 20 is the start in the Alps of Switzerland. So keep that in mind. In the meantime, the World Economic Forum has been releasing a couple of information about the state of the world economy. So the latest was that the forecast will be a rapid growth in artificial intelligence, big data, and cybersecurity jobs. That's what the World Economic Forum released on Tuesday. In the meantime, Kenya fuel prices are rising for the first time in 15 months. That's no good news for President Ruto's administration. Has been trying to scale back on the pressures and problems of 2024, including the deadly protests, and try to shake that off, which impacted the country's economy for the year behind us. And the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, $20 billion would need additional 80 billion Bearer, the local currency, for completion. That's the latest out of Ethiopia after the opening of the Ethiopian Securities Exchange on Monday by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and a few delegates. Uganda is now accounting for 65.7% of transit cargo via the Kenya's Mombasa port. That's a look back 2024. How much more will happen this year? Tanzania's president Hassan Suluhu is also touting the economic resilience of the country last year. She held her first main address with the diplomatic community, members of the development partners and others at the presidential villa a few days ago. And she touted the progress being made by Tanzania in terms of foreign direct investment, GDP growth, tourism inflows, and a whole lot of that, including the Zanzibar as well. So those are the headlines there in East Africa. Let's move to West Africa. Today, Nigeria's governors, the deputies and others in finance and accounting folks are meeting for 2 days behind closed doors, Thursday, Friday, to discuss, to share their own minds. It's a stakeholders consultation between the governors of the 36 states of Nigeria, as well as the Presidential Committee on Tax Reform. The tax reform is hanging in there at the House of Representatives. The second reading was to be made. The Senate seemed to have been cleared, but the governor says they want more clarity as to the letters and provisions of this major economic reform. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be reporting that for you over the next few days. Naira for sale. The central bank is upset. The banks are selling the local currency, illegally to some individuals, including point-of-sale operators on the street, and creating another market for naira transactions in the country. The banks have been penalized. Some reports say some banks have been hit, some branches have been closed. And the global hardwood demand cuts deep into Gambia's revenue. The country is looking to see more diaspora, is getting more diaspora remittances are now looking head to head with tourism, which is the country's previous mainstay. And Cote d'Ivoire authorities have fired the head of the security agencies in a bid to prevent the smuggling of cocoa across the border. All right, let's go to Southern Africa. The trade route between South Africa and Botswana is been short because of flooding caused by heavy rainfalls. Now, that's part of the climate change. So the authorities in South Africa are looking for additional alternative routes to get the trade routes going within the sub-region, the SADC region. And good news, as Cape Town has been named 2025's best city in the world by Time Out. You can check that out yourself. The Cape Town has spent hundreds of millions of rand in repairing infrastructures and getting the city up to date over the last few years and attracting tourists, including international conferences from around the world. United Kingdom says it's closing in on Mauritius' Chagos Island deal with a payment that will be about 7 years upfront. That's some good news there. You can follow that up as far as the amount involved is concerned. In Caledonia, Miami says it's investing an additional $42 million in its operations in Zimbabwe. Those are your headlines, southern part of the continent. Let me just take that all the way up to the northern corridor, where TripAdvisor has named Marrakesh, that iconic Moroccan city, among the best of the best travel destinations for 2025. Go to Marrakesh, come to Africa. And ExxonMobil says it makes a natural gas discovery on the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Egypt, while the country, the biggest economy north of the continent, is jumping back into the winter liquefied natural gas market as an importer. And the Chinese Geely Auto is looking to set up a factory in Egypt. That will help to regionalize the operations and the sale of the Geely automobile within the North African corridor, making Egypt a major export hub, not just for the Northern African market, but also across to the rest of Africa and Europe, by the way. And don't forget, today, we're getting the International Energy Agency's nuclear energy report. That's one big report you don't want to miss. We'll report on that for you tomorrow, Friday. That's about it all for today, everyone on your Frontier Open Bell. Do have a great day and keep your eyes on the show. Go online, follow us on social media, give us your feedback, follow us, and of course, watch all the shows and all of the videos that we have on our YouTube, frontierafricareports.com. Bye for now.